Well, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good happy Monday to all of you. I do have the pleasure of getting on today. So thank you so much for jumping on. We have a good call today, I think. I have the distinctive pleasure of bringing Miss Jackie first and foremost to join me, get in here in front of our audience and answer one of the big questions that's out in El Paso. And one here is simply, is the El Paso real estate market finally crashing? Is it the best time? Is it the worst time to buy? We're going to find out. I want to definitely give Miss Jackie's opinion on it, on what she thinks, and what we can bring a little bit of information here to the people here in El Paso and those that are considering moving to El Paso, Texas. Again, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and start this off. First and foremost, I want to see if anybody is out there. Where are you guys watching from today? Like to always get make this interactive for everyone. So if you guys have comments, like what you guys say, like what you hear today, don't like it, please comment. We like to respond, right? So Miss Jackie Stevens, ¿qué pasó, mi amor?
Paso, ¿qué pasó? Okay, so I'm over here on the other side of the office because, we just thought this would film a little bit better. So please let us know, sound check, mic, make sure everything is going. And the reason why I called for this impromptu, I can say video today is, we're heading into quarter one of 2023. And, Edgar and I, we're a small steel team here in El Paso, Texas. And we have our agents here roughly, in our team, we have about four. In our organization, we have almost about 30 something agents. Am I right?
Yep.
You can stop me if anything. And one of the things that I see and I try to keep motivating and pushing out of this storm is positivity in getting through this market correction is what I want to say, and not a market crash. So this is not a market crash, and we need to let our people know, let our agents know that if they just keep showing up and giving value and educating themselves on a daily level or daily, consistency of the national and local market, they're going to be able to find solutions. They're going to be able to find positivity and goodness on why home ownership is still number one in people's dreams or the biggest asset that people can purchase in today's lives. Okay, so if you heard something different, Edgar, you could correct me if I'm wrong. You can have your own opinion too, because we do have our own opinions. Don't you think this is a correction, not a market crash? Let's get the fear and the scaredness out of people and comfort them with positivity. And that's what the show is about today. I wish I could do, you see this? Good vibes only. Good vibes only. So that's something that we have to bring and pursue positive vibes into today's industry.
No, I think what we'll say, Miss Jackie, I think it's perfect that you share that because I think so many people continuously want to battle what's going on elsewhere. They hear the noise. TV is probably the one. I know TikTok will have you, with tons of different material on there that people get to read, get to see, get quick access. They don't actually sit down and analyze what's going on anymore. They just hear the fast, quick update. It's that popcorn setting, and all of a sudden they go and share that with people and say, hey, you know what, this is the best time or the worst time. Or, you know what's going to happen in El Paso? We're going to crash. So you've been in the business now 17 years, and I don't want to age you like that, but I'm just saying 17 years in real estate, which is amazing. So when you first came in, and you shared that with us in other shows before, you've been a part of a market crash, a real market crash. That's how you started your career. That's how you came into the business. Can you distinguish that little bit of a difference from what that was like and what we're going to be going through today? Because today, I mean, let's face it, right? Interest rates a year ago were what, high threes, low fours, somewhere in there for our first time buyers.
Two scores, absolutely. Which
Okay.
I think in our decades we've seen it.
Uh huh.
I don't think if we're going. I don't know if we'll see that again in the next 30, 40 years if God permits us that long. But there will be something like this in many decades. But it's completely different. So market crash, yes, that happened 2008 when I had joined real estate, and that was very competitive. It really was. But um, people were still investors were still buying, people were still buying, and that was a lender thing. That is because the guidelines were so non-risky.
Right.
People should have never qualified for those loans, including me and you, Edgar. We bought that house 2004, our very first house. I don't know how the hell we qualified for that loan, but we did. And thanks to Jesus that we did not foreclose, because we rented the house out, but other people, like I remember on our street, there was for sale signs and foreclosure signs every other house, every 3 or 4 houses. That is completely different in today's market. Okay. We are not, I feel, in my opinion, okay. And if it happens next year that yes, we end up in a crash, I don't know what it could have been. I mean, I don't know, right? But in today's market, it's completely different because the restrictions are still very hardcore for people to qualify. So I don't see lenders or banks or lending just to lend. They're still very strict. So I don't see bad notes happening that way.
Hmm.
I kind of feel into market that finding solutions for the buyers still wanting to buy their solutions now. So a lot of people have been hearing the 2-1 buy downs, the 3-2-1 buy downs. Basically, everybody should be in a competitive buy down right now, right? I mean, so they can benefit the lower rates year 1, 2, and hopefully we can refinance by year 3. Of course, the home has to have equity, so I don't see prices depreciating drastically where there's not enough equity for these people to consume a refinance.
Is that something that you see different, per se, here in El Paso, Texas, compared to, say, for instance, San Francisco, California, or Los Angeles, California? The market there. I mean, you've seen the crazy stories, right? There is a little bit more foreclosures over in that end in New York and some of these other bigger places. Here in El Paso, what it's been your experience? What do you think you're seeing, and we're going to continue to see here, say a year from now? Because remember, a lot of our buyers, I know I dealt with a lot of buyers last year that were just very, very, they went through a tough time, right? Let's call it what it is, and we all did. And trying to get them into a home, trying to get them into, through these multiple bids and all this craziness and madness that went on. And so they said, you know what, I'm going to wait for next year. Well, next year is basically here, and now they're now facing the biggest thing because they thought interest rates were high at say a 5% last year. Now we're what getting closer to sixes. In some case, I mean, not sixes, seven
Yeah.
point seven fives, and so forth. I saw last week with the most recent increase in the basis points. So, what's your message to those buyers? The market's not crashing; it's correcting itself. But how do they now tell themselves, hey, you know what, the 7.5 interest rate's better than whatever is here to come here in the near future?
I really feel that bringing in, it's a crucial time to get a buyer no matter what, before even looking, before even getting approved, is you sit down with them and listen to what their needs are, not their wants, their needs. If it's a need that needs to be filled in them moving over, let's go ahead and start getting into a lender that's able to find a solution to their payment, their financing, whatever it is, right? I really feel that every lender should be highly involved with their real estate agents right now, because are the real estate. We find the real estate. We're going to pair you with the lender that we know is going to have solutions for the buyer's needs
Absolutely.
and their payment and so forth. But I really feel that the buyers right now have so much advantages by getting the seller to buy down the rates. In a new home, I see builder after builder, offering $5,000, $10,000 to buy down their rate. So there's a solution there already. I've heard people buying their
It's
home
2 o'clock.
association fees up to 6 months, up to a year to help the payment of that buyer. I've seen so many strategic ways on helping the consumer to capture a low interest rate until we all know what's going to happen year two, three, even quarter one of next year, right? Fannie Mae and them are saying that they're supposed to come down on rates, but do we have that crystal ball to tell? No, but we do have solutions to help the consumer still purchase a home at a very fair interest rate.
No, very, very good point, and I think that's exactly what you're saying, right? So when part of that correction, if I'm hearing what you're saying correctly here, is it's now going to take two sides, right? Buyers and sellers to strategically work something there in the middle to make a transaction work. And if one thing that I've seen, and this is what I've shared with a lot of my buyers that are continuously coming saying, "Hey, I still want to get into a home. I know it's competitive. I know that I'm going to be going up against 30, 40, 50 people with offers. I have to have this much for this." Now it's kind of we have to stop a little bit, re-educate the buyer because they heard this from a lot of different people, right? They heard it from TV, they heard it from TikTok, they heard it from us at one point, right? What was going on? Because one thing that we are very clear here in our group is we're transparent. Whatever the
Yes.
market is doing is what we're going to share, and we're going to let you know this is what we got to battle through. This is what we're going to go through. And so right now it's no different. But the good thing that we are seeing is that both sides are wanting to participate. Sellers are still doing extremely well in when they're putting their homes on the market and getting it sold. They're still making a lot more than they would have prior to all this craziness. And at the end of the day, one thing, when I got into real estate, one thing you shared with me right away, Jackie, is what you're going to do well, you're going to do bad, you're going to do well, you're going to do bad. The goal is always to stay doing good, and there's different ways of doing that, but you have to adjust. You have to be able to share and tell the buyer, hey, this is our adjustment now. A year ago was we needed this much just to be competitive. Now, if guys, I'm telling you this, buyers, if you guys missed out on any homes last year, I feel like this is going to be an unbelievable situation where you're not going to get in a home. Jackie, do you agree with me saying right now is probably the best time to get in front of one of us, a professional, okay? Get with a very good lender that's going to provide you with these options. And then not only that, but be able to execute a plan and not have to feel overwhelmed with so many people battling and competing against you. Now you're just competing with the seller and saying, hey, I want to bring you a very strong offer. You're still going to be able to get this. I want to get that, and we make that whole deal work. And again, that's where we come into play. And I think that's the conversation we need to have today. Be positive, have some good vibes, and make sure that we're doing what? Educating our people, right? In this case, it's the seller. If you're going to sell your home, hey, these are the new things that have changed from even just 3 to 6 months ago versus what we're going now into the future. You mentioned buy downs. Builders have gone ahead of this, and this is great, right? It's great that they are saying, hey, you know what, we are noticing, a drop in sales because of this, and we understand that. But here, if you guys don't know what a buy down is, I don't expect you guys to know everything. Get with Miss Jackie, get with myself, get with anybody in our team or a professional realtor to give you that information. If they don't know what that is, then you might want to relook at some other options.
Yeah, that's pretty much sums it up of being able to group with a true professional. And if you feel like you're making a wrong decision because the payment is too high or you're not offered programs or, solutions, then I really feel you could be putting yourself in a really huge pit because other buyers are going to be, or I hate to say buyers, consumers, or people looking for their dream home. And the high interest rate is high, but there's ways on you being able to bring that down. The seller, you need to be in group with, say, for instance, if you buy a resale home, I am hoping that the agent on the other side is very knowledgeable of what you two are trying to partner to do to help each other. Okay. So again, you have to group with how professionals are learning with the market every day, learning the national level, learning the local level, learning your market of what's happening in El Paso, because we are different than New York to Colorado, all those other markets. We are completely different. We still have low inventory, so that doesn't make it a market crash because the demand is still there. It's just now that rates have gone up, inflation has gone up. It just scares people, and the frenzy is can be, you could either take it the bad way or you could take it and run with it and find solutions within. And that's what I love about us, is that I will not allow the culture or the vibe to go down, because this is the best time to 10x your brand in every way, to be the knowledgeable educator to help people succeed in homeownership. And that's what we're doing right now. Business is slow, but not as just because of the fear that buyers have. But we're here to take that fear out, right?
No, good message there, Jack. I think that's a very important, and not only so much just to take out the fear, guys, is to really educate you and so that you fully understand what that means. Because the market is going to do what the market does. It does it all the time, right? Let's take away real estate for a second. If you're into stocks and you're seeing what the market is doing there, you buy low and you sell when it's high, right? That's just the way it works, and it goes up and down. Does that mean that people stop playing the market? No, a lot of people play and get involved.
Listen, I get scared when I'm buying a house at 10% and 11%. And I've been doing signing off on houses, you and I, at a 10, 11% with our hard money lenders. And what do? We wait to refinance. We are doing the same thing. But I'm I'm looking at the long term, not the short term, right?
Correct.
You want to look at real estate as a long term generational wealth. So my properties could go up. That's what I'm wanting it to do, just like stock. Yours stocks is like this. Real
Right.
estate is at least this. At least I'm going to gain some equity. I don't see prices depreciating. They're just going to balance out.
Right.
Remember, we were paying over asking price on these houses. The equity's still there. I don't see that equity vanishing.
Yeah.
There's too much equity sitting in your house right now for houses to depreciate and for you to fall. Or for you to lose in your asset. This is me, my opinion, and you know that. I buy the real estate. If I can afford it, if the bank tells me I can afford it, then I'm going to buy it. And I'm going to make by all dams meet that I can pay that mortgage. If it's less eating out, if it's less entertaining, if it's less XYZ, I leave that money in the bank so that I make sure that it's here. Year 2 and 3, I'm going to refinance that sucker, right? I'm going to refinance it because the rate's going to be lower. So
Right.
that's just me. That's how I feel. Okay. And I have buyers on the line, or my clients on the line, that are saying, Jackie, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till, okay. I'm gonna wait with you, but I'm also gonna tell you what's going on with the market, right? So again, you have to I wrote a little bit of notes on here, is, you have to know that the market is not crashing. You have to be the educator, you have to be the broker, you have to be the coach, you have to be the team leader to grab your agents and grab the people and the consumers to be the news for them in good terms, right?
No, that's good stuff, and I think thank you for sharing that, because I think it's important that we look at it as a whole and as a long term. Because any place that you're choosing to stay, whether it is that you're renting and you want to make that a permanent situation, I know you guys have heard it. You guys are going to hear it again, just because you guys are basically paying 100% interest right there. And guess what? It's nothing that you ever get to enjoy and build equity of. You get to build a landlord's equity, and they get to reap the benefits of something like that. So those are all conversations that you guys got to think. Now I understand there's certain times where we have to wait. Know that there's also going to be some other options and a plan that we can always help you and get that set for you, as the new year comes into play as well. Ms. Jackie, any last things that you or thoughts,
Yeah.
sharing, anything you want to let our audience know today? This was a fun one. I like it. I liked it a lot. You get to bring positive vibes. You bring them into my
And I
world.
need
I try to be as positive as I can. And no, thank you.
yes. And like I was mentioning, you got to do the hard. And if you feel yourself in a slump and a bump, like what in the world? If you're scared, your buyers are scared. If you're scared, you're relaying the message scared to your audience. So it's what you make of it. It's what you make of it in these downtimes. This is my second, I can say, I don't know if I should call it a down pit. I don't know, because I always learn more with these type of situations, and it makes us stronger. It makes me stronger as an agent, because I feel if I got through one escapade and
Right.
the second, then we'll be able to flourish the next. I know that this is what I want to do forever. So I'm super passionate about always keeping an open mindset, learning, growing, and then making sure that I'm still able to execute home ownership for a buyer. A buyer right now, or a client, can ask almost for anything they want right now when the house is sitting on the market. Um, can somebody tell me that? I didn't look at the new stat, Michelle or Edgar. I think we're up like what, 15, 20 days on market. I'm not sure, but I gotta double check on that. Um,
I like that.
closed days on market, I mean, it's increasing. I mean, you can go in there and ask for a buy down. You can go in there and ask for your closing costs. You could go in there and ask for a home warranty now. So we should be sliding in and asking for a 1 year home warranty. You can ask for things, that will help you, and that you will more likely get than what you would have gotten a year or a couple of months ago, right? When things started changing, when rates started going. So remember, we are in a period of inflation. Feds aren't going to be nice to us right now. They're gonna hike. There's one more hike rate that is determined on December 1st, where they're gonna group up and they're gonna see if inflation is going to go down. We're at an 8 point whatever, 2, I think. We want it at a 2. I don't know how that's gonna happen, right? So they're going to force consumers to stop spending. To me, it looks like everybody's still spending, right? And on the outside world. But I guess my advice is, until we can control inflation, then we should rates come down. That's my opinion. If you have a different opinion, that's actually fine on what you are advising, but at least be consistent with the local market, because these people depend on us to make the right decision for them. If you are after a commission and after the money, and I always say this, you will not effing make it.
No.
You won't. Because you are not putting the customer first, the consumer, the client. Remember that. Do not put people in homes where they don't understand what the hell they're doing. And that goes back to your lender, that goes back to the whole people in your line. Be purposeful, as I always mention, and always be honest with everything. And I promise you this, the client will do absolutely fine if you just show true honesty and get them into this hard time accordingly.
100%. And thank you for sharing that. I think it's the message is on point. It's very again important. Align yourself correctly. Make sure you're speaking to the right people. Ask the right questions, and don't be afraid to ask any question. because that's always the key thing. Again, consumers, you guys only know what you know. You guys don't do this on a daily basis. Just like if I went to go visit a lawyer, I wouldn't expect him to follow my lead and get my answers. I'm going to guide on him because he's the professional. So again, this isn't any different when you're working still with a realtor. Make sure that you are fully asking all questions. And I tell this to Jackie, right? Every time, oh, I have a huge headache and I have this and my arm is hurting. I Googled it and this is what it told me. Well, guess what? Google can tell you a lot of good things. So can Zillow, and so can a lot of these different resources out there. But at the
And
end of the day,
TikTok, because I'm always on TikTok, and sometimes these people are just they're scaring people. I'm like, what in the effing world? Know that people are competing for views, for likes, to grow their following. So they're basically instilling fear and information that causes our markets as real estate agents to go down. And I don't like those people, and everybody's in this shit together. So nobody is better than anybody. The best thing that you can do again is get with a lender. I think that is so freaking important. They better know what the 2-1 buy downs are. They better know how to buy down that rate, or this, the 2% in closing costs instead of 3%. They have to be helping too. So everybody should be helping everybody, right? So make sure you are pairing with that, because they have to know what programs to fit or what would help benefit that one buyer.
awesome. No, thank
What
you,
else?
Ms. Jackie, for some great positive vibes here on a Monday. I think it's good for us to share that, and especially coming off a long weekend. With this whole time change, it's been really weird. It's like it's early, but it's late, and if it's late, but it's early, it's
Yeah,
kind
Edgar and I were going to be actually in bed by like 7:45 yesterday.
of
Like, we the house was cleaned, everything was organized, everything was beautiful, set for the next day. And he's like, "Well, let's watch that show called The Watchers." Okay. I put it on. These mofos go to sleep within the next 45 minutes and leave me watching The Watchers. It's like 8 episodes. I ended up going to bed by 11:40. No. Oh my God, what happened? I did not go to sleep. So talk about bad habits. So, long story short, that movie's freaky. I'm gonna go finish it. 3 episodes today that I have left, but that totally derailed what I was trying to accomplish um, last night.
no, absolutely no.
What else do you have? Yeah, if there's any questions, I know you have me on here. I don't see like you may have it on your end and so forth. We're gonna have our Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow, Friendsgiving.
Yes.
So I'm really excited about that tomorrow. And just keep involved with people, guys, and keep surrounding yourself with a group that can push you through this. Because I'm going to be honest with you, if you are feeling stuck alone and you're just like sitting there, it doesn't matter. I mean, I've been through it. I've gone through, for the past 17 years, I can probably more than this. No, maybe 10 brokerages I've been through. And feeling alone is the worst. And people who don't share, people who don't acknowledge you, or they're just self-centered, maybe don't want to share their things. It's important for you during this time, if this is something long term, to start putting yourself or sitting at a different table, because I do that. And when I feel alone, or I feel defeated, or I feel like I need answers and Edgar doesn't have them for me, normally he has them for me. He's my I don't want to call you a cheerleader. You're my cheerleader. You're my one that pushes me. I have to go and ask other people, right, that are bigger and that have bigger goals than me, because I gotta venture out. So you gotta do the same thing. So if I'm confused about something or I'm stuck in something, I'm going to ask. And that's something if I could end this podcast today, if there's one thing that you can leave with is you need to start asking people for help. And it's okay. It doesn't make you any less. It doesn't make you any nothing. You have to learn, you have to grow, and that's what's important. And that's what I'm going to leave today's call with today. So,
Thank
okay.
you. I think those are some great words. For those, continue to crush it, guys. If you guys again like anything on here, please click on that like button, like it a lot. That's how we continue to grow. We want to continue to bring some great content for you as our consumers. To those that are our colleagues, you guys got a little bit of that from Ms. Jackie today. To all our colleagues around El Paso, Texas, to stay in it. You heard it here. The market's not crashing, guys. I know it feels weird because not everybody's calling or signing like they were a few months ago. But that's we knew that was coming, right? We knew we needed to take full knowledge and full direction and be on a mission for what was going to be coming next. And we're here now, and we've been here for a while now. I think it's just finally slapped a few of us right in the face and said, "Oh my God, we're really here!" Like, yes. But at the end, like Miss Jackie said, her words of encouragement for you as agents and professionals. And not only that, guys, there's a lot of beautiful people here in El Paso that are all depending on you to uplift them and to make sure that you can still get them from A to Z and get them into that home that they so much envisioned a year ago, 2 years ago, or their plan was to get it this year. Come through for them. That's your cheerleaders there. Those are the people that will make it what makes our field and what we do so rewarding. Not that.
I yeah, and I feel people should not be closing people at 7.25, 7.75. Take advantage of the buy down and let the builders help pay for that, right? Or or the sellers. That's just my opinion.
Boom. Well, thank you so much again, guys. Happy Monday to all of you. You guys go and enjoy it. To my real people tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing all of you. Bring some hunger. Bring some food. Do not forget the food because Daddy is hungry. But no, not really. More than anything, guys, I just super thankful, super grateful. I know we'll be on here before Thanksgiving, all that good stuff, but that's just the whole month of November for me, man. It's October. Just on the personal side for me, it's always a challenging month, very gloomy, dark, for other reasons that I won't get into today. But I always look forward to November because November really brings an opportunity to thank each and every one of you guys that. Helps us bring business, helps us bring people together, collaboration, all that good stuff. So again, I thank everyone for being involved and helping us out. Miss Jack, I know we're all over the place, but it's okay. Is we have the huge turkey drive that we're doing, right? Collecting items. I know there'll be a flyer going out soon, guys. This is our fifth annual, Miss Jackie. Am I quoting that correctly?
COVID took a year, so this is gonna be our fourth annual turkey drive where we ask people to help. I know prices have gone up, but at least a couple of turkeys, one turkey, two turkey, it does not matter. One year we fed over 50 families, and that was the most humbling freaking thing ever. I can't even explain the words to you. That we were able to feed these families, and I wish that more people can donate because this is a rough patch for a lot of people in life right now. Go to the grocery stores. I go to the grocery stores and I'm like, what in the freaking world? Like a bag of celery for $4 or $5, milk is up, eggs is ridiculous, like crazy. So I think it's meaningful. Couple of bucks, guys, even if it's like corn, green beans, corn, stuffing, whatever. It doesn't have to be a turkey. It's gonna go out there. Please, please, if you know anybody who's looking to donate, we'd love for you guys to be able to let people know. Okay.
I love
I think yeah. So a lot of announcements going on, but yeah. Okay.
it. All righty, guys. Well, this time for reals, I'm going to go ahead and Tell you guys have a remainder great Monday here. Continue crushing your week. Stay focused, stay humble, be kind. Love you guys.